everybody. And Colossal
Good
Student
evening.
Parliament discussion. My name is Unaisa Abdullahi, your moderator for today's discussion. Before we dive in, I would like to give you a quick brief on what the Brand Colossus is about, or rather, what the Student Parliament is about. I'm sure you all know that this platform was created for students and graduates like you and I to come together to have a meaningful discussion on topics that are important, or rather, topics that matter to each and every one of us. We share insights about the industry, various industries to be precise, marketing industries, and the educational industry as well. Then we talk about personal development. This platform is the aim, or rather, the goal of this platform is to create a community where students and graduates, all of us, you understand, come to air our view, and it is a platform where our opinion matters. So, today's session, we will talk about a topic that is in the minds of many, and the topic is studying and working abroad, managing the process, benefits, and challenges. That's the topic for today. And our speaker for today is someone who has first-hand experience and deep insights about this topic. He goes by the name Mr. Wale Olapoju, all the way from UK. Please help me to welcome Mr. Olawale Olapoju. First of all, I want you to please, with your permission, Mr. Wale, let me give them an introduction of who you are. Let me introduce this personality on your screen to each and every one of us. Mr. Olawale Olapoju holds a degree in computer science and further pursued diploma in petroleum marketing and business studies at the Petroleum Training Institute, PTI. His diverse career, his diverse career has taken him from Nigeria to the UK, where he has built an impressive portfolio across multiple industries. He is not only a professional photographer, but also a real estate property manager and a security expert in the UK. With such wealth of experience across different fields, Mr. Wali is uniquely positioned to share valuable insights with us on studying and working abroad, especially for those looking to make similar transition. I hope you all are ready to dissect this topic with Mr. Wali. Mr. Wale, you are welcome once again. I'd like to get your perspective on something that many students wonder about, and that is if someone, for example, is trying to japa, as we call it, the person that wants to japa, uh, as a Nigerian that wants to leave this country, or rather want to study abroad, what are the challenges, or rather, what will you advise he do, or he or she does first? Or rather, if you can share your experience with us on what motivates you to relocate abroad. Are there any pitfalls that we should be aware of? Please, over to you, Mr. Wale.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Like Unaisa said, my name is Alawale Alapoju, and I was once a member of. I am still a member of PTI. I'm a petroleum marketing student as well. Even though we're not there anymore, we are at least we still have some small blood here and there. Let me just put it like that. And for this study, for this topic, it's a very wide topic rather. It's a very wide topic because everybody have something to say about moving and Japan, like we all call it. So it's sensitive. At the same time, it's like I said, it's very wide. We can't say all of it, but we can only try to sum up some of these things with with a few research that has been done. So without further ado, I just like to share my screen and so yeah, I hope you guys can see this. Yeah, can you all see this?
Yes, we can see your screen.
In a full screen mode.
Yes, we can see your slide. We can see the slide.
Like everything is in one place, but
Yes, studying and working abroad, understanding the
understanding the
process.
process, benefits and challenges. So uh, for myself, I moved in 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 October of 2021, and I came here for work as well as possibly going to school. But at this point, I think I would say work has given way more than school. If you guys you need to just hustle and make sure that everything is in order for yourself. So first of all, I'd like to go through with the introduction by saying studying and working abroad is very popular and among students and as well as professionals who are seeking to broaden their horizon, and it offers a unique blend of educational and career advancement opportunities, and it exposes you to different cultures, and also helps you in personal growth in the sense that at some point you'll be the only one here, and you have to make sure you do everything to grow. You just have to find a way to get you have to find a way to settle down in the country. However, the it doesn't come this journey does not come without any form of challenge, and understanding the process is is beneficial to everyone, and the hurdles involved for anyone that is considering trying to japa, because we all need to know what it entails. So first of all, we'll go through the first headline is the process of studying and working abroad. So and the first thing we have to do is your research. You have to do so. I put research and preparation yeah together, but we'll take it one after the other. So you have to do your research. You need to know for students. You need to know the country you want to go to. Will it be it UK, US, Canada? Because I know Canada is a hot place right now. Be it UK, US, like I said, Germany. Germany, you need to know what it entails. Then for those who wants to work, you need to know the company's professional goals, and if it aligns with what you also want for yourself. Because to be honest, everybody have different goals that they pursue. And you need to, the key factor to consider includes the, for both students and workers alike, you need to know the quality of education you're trying to get in any of the countries you decide to go to. And for people who are on the job market, you need to know what type of job there is, first of all. Then you need to know the cost of living for any of the country you decide to relocate to. Then there's cultural differences because nowadays people are having rude awakening when it comes to culture. What you know in Nigeria is not what it is in another man's land. In another man's land, UK, for instance, you will meet a lot of people from different backgrounds, and you need to be able to adapt and understand what it is that makes them or break them. Then there's the language barrier as well, also a thing for when you're trying to move abroad. So for students, you have to choose the right university and the right program for yourself, and that means you need to check if the school is accredited and the right curriculum that you'll be expecting. If you have enough money, you can go and pay your fees, but you also need to check for people who are not really buoyant to to afford it. You can always check out for scholarships and financial aid. For as for professionals, you need to know your potential employer and understand the visa requirements of the job market. Please, you need to know the visa requirement of the job market. Sorry about that. Then the next slide is you need to for the application process. You need to understand the application process, and every application process varies because of the country you are you are going to be either schooling or working in. So you need to have for schools you need to have your letter of recommendation, the statement of purpose. The statement of purpose is why you want to be in that school. Then there are different scores. I mean, different tests you also have to take, either be it language test or your general knowledge test, like the IELTS. That the IELTS is for the English, which is not for the UK. So you have to do the IELTS, GRE, TOEFL. And for workers, you need to submit your resume. For anybody who's working, who decides to be here for work, you need to your resume, your letter. You have to demonstrate your language proficiency. Then securing a visa is a critical step because it requires a lot of documentation. You need to know the right document to put together for you to submit for a visa interview. And also part of those documents like you need to show your financial statement, and you need to have like health insurance. This happens for both workers and students alike. Then the visa process also can be time consuming. You need to be very patient and careful when planning so that you don't miss deadlines and always have the deadlines behind at the back of your head. Then arrival and adaptation. So when you first get into a foreign country, what you need to know is first of all is accommodation. You don't want to come even from the airport, even from the once you enter the plane, get into the country, the first thing they ask you is you need to check your visa, and then they can ask you. No, even while during the visa process, they can ask you where are you going to be staying. So you need to be able to secure accommodation before you get here, or you plan to still live with people. Then the next one is you have to get your bank accounts ready because you need money. and that is also a daunting. It's not really a daunting process, but you need to get a bank account, you need to have money. You need to know the nearest hospital because God forbid you fall sick, anything can happen. So you need to know the nearest hospital, then understand the transport system of the of the of the of the country you are in. So some places transport system can be hard, some can be difficult, and while some are just very easy. Then we now say cultural adaptation is significant that you have to adjust to new environment because there are um different social communication, different different social norms and communication style. The way I speak with you in Nigeria, how far with it happen is not the way people there will with you. If you're speaking English, you need to speak English with everybody. You can't go and say, Baba, how far with it happen? Nobody will, they will just be looking at you like, what are you saying? Then then you need to, because you're there, you need to also know how to adapt to new language, to new lingos. Linguage is the type of how they say the things they say, why, in what way does it represent what you are saying. So that is there. And for the student, the university, your school that you're in, often provide orientation programs on how well to settle in the country or in the school. And for workers, they need to there's a workplace culture whereby they they make you adapt and integrate and welcome you properly so that you can have a smooth transition into the job. So the benefits now of studying and working abroad for educational and the first one is education and professional advancement.
Hello,
Studying
Mr.
abroad.
Wale.
Huh?
Hello, Mr. Olapo.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah,
Before
I
you
can-
move into the benefit, please,
yeah.
I have a question.
Okay.
Yes, you have taken us through the journey of the process, and that's really, really insightful. I'm happy you have a screen to share with us because after this, people will still have the opportunity to go back and recheck again to understand it all, including those that are not here, even those that want to revisit. When you're talking about these processes, through these processes, I would really like you to help us um, throw more light, or rather, help us recognize the pitfalls that are related to these processes. In a nutshell, please, if you can explain that in 2 minutes, I will appreciate.
So that's the process of of studying abroad.
Yes, no, not the process. You've already taken us the journey through the process. I said if you can, like a little, if you can just make us understand the challenges, or rather, should I say, I'm talking about the process, the challenges related to these processes. What are those things, the unforeseen things, the likely, you know, and challenges that might occur through these processes that someone is going through? You mentioned about making your research. Anything could go wrong.
Yes.
Can you kindly, from your own personal experience, what are those things that you encountered that are negative,
Okay.
which is attached to these processes that you have already
So
mentioned?
processes
So
you can
please,
take
in
it.
2 minutes.
Okay. The process. One of the processes. If you don't have finance, you cannot actually do much because you need funding. So that's a one pitfall for me. Then secondly,
Okay.
if you make so we always advise you to do your application to make your application yourself. That is where the research comes in because you don't want to give an agency or just somebody by the roadside to make an application for you because it can scam you and take your money away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's also when they when during that process, so when they say gather all your documents, let's say for instance your date of birth on your birth certificate is saying 1994 and your date of birth on your passport is saying 1992. That is always a detriment. It will always not work in your favor because they say, why are these two not tallying? So for everything you do, cross-reference whatever it is for for your application process. Make sure everything is in order. Make sure they tally. Make sure there's no fault in anything. So wherever you need help, then you can always reach out to people who are actually doing the business, which is they're certified workers or certified agencies whereby they can easily put you through in the process but they will always advise you. Do your research, do your processes, get the processing done by yourself so that you don't hit the brick wall. So like I said, finance, um, knowing the process and actually making sure the process is correct for you. Then what was this that made the one I said again? When it's finance, I've forgotten that one again. If nice, I helping out here. So I said finance, um, um,
Yeah, you mentioned the finance for the processes. You mentioned the research part.
yeah,
That when
research,
you don't have yeah, you should do your research thoroughly.
yeah, research, and
You
also
mentioned well. You mentioned those. You mentioned that as a pitfall as well.
yeah. So
Yeah.
those are for me.
So
Those
you
are
can just carry on with your. Oh my God. You can carry on with your slide. Thank you.
okay. So when benefit of studying and working abroad. So one of the benefits is educational and professional advancement. So for everything we do, everybody wants to have this pride of, oh, I did this abroad. I did that abroad. I work abroad. I make so and so money abroad. So there's this, you have, for students, you have high quality of education. You have access to high quality of education, which is, which to an extent, when you go and get a job in those areas, it works in your favor. So, and for people who decide to say, okay, I've gotten this education, I want to come back home to pour my knowledge back into my own country. You are able to do so with ease. With ease, but that with ease is also there's also a clause there because as much as you want to pour everything back home, you also have people to contend with because not everything we believe or everything is westernized. You cannot bring anything Western into this country and you think we'll accept it. I don't know if you understand me. So that is that one. And for it also exposes students to different teaching methods and principles, and you can see things in a different perspective. And academically, you are sound. You'll know now, okay, if I do this process, if I follow this process, I will succeed and it will work for me. That is that for student and for professional. When you're working abroad, you're open to different opportunities in the global markets. You have maybe diverse experience for you. You can be someone who is working in the UK as a bank manager can, if I'm not overshooting it, can come to Nigerian CBN and say, oh, I have so degree and I've also worked in so place in the UK. and they'll be like, "Oh, you have this degree, and you can easily get job in that in that in the CBN." But yeah, it doesn't always work. But at least when you're back home, there's always this level of respect for you that, oh, he has done. He went out there, he made good for himself, and is bringing everything back home. That is what I see. So provide experience in work in diverse work environment and enhances your CV with international experiences. So the next one is cultural and personal growth. So this part is also, like I said, I spoke about it earlier, is important. So living in a foreign country exposes you to individuals, to new cultures, to new languages, to new ways of life, some of which can either be negative or positive. Negative because not everybody know how to contain their habits. If you go and learn, you can go stick come to this place, to the foreign land, and learn bad habits. But if you have focused and dedicated enough, you learn the good parts. So there's cultural immersion you can live with, which can lead to greater empathy, adaptability, and cross-cultural communication skills. So for this cross-cultural communication skills, it helps you for please for cross-cultural communication skills. Know that let me shed a little point light on that, because it helps you to overcome hurdles and avoid misunderstanding, because there are different basic elements of this type of communication. So the elements are awareness, preparation, language, humor, and openness. So if you can understand all of this awareness, can understand all of this, you'll be able to adapt to whatever situation you are in this in a foreign land. So the experience also helps in navigating life in different countries, which can foster independence and problem solving skills. So that is for your personal growth. Now it helps you to solve problem easily, because some people most times we go there by ourselves. We are there alone. We're just trying to keep up and measure up with every other person that we meet there. So basically, you're mostly on your own, like dependent on yourself. When you go out, when you go to school, when you go to work, only you will go to that school or work and still come back to your house and be by yourself. Until you start making friends, then there are other things you can do for your personal growth. Maybe read a book and take some certifications or whatever you want to do for yourself. That adds um, that can add to your personal growth. So the next one is networking opportunities. So studying or working abroad, it allows individuals to build global network of contacts. I mean, you for for this is more. I would say this is more applicable to students, because students that come here, you meet people from different walks of life, different background, different countries. So depending on how you're able to relate with those people from with those other students that you guys are in school with, depending on how you can relate with them, your way of connecting and making and having a network of people, of friends. So you guys can easily plan things and work out things that will be beneficial to you as a student. And for workers, you can have colleagues and clients who are professionals in the industry. You guys can make connection and and be involved in future future partnership, or you can have invaluable future careers and opportunities. So basically, you guys have unending collaborations. That's for workers. Unending collaborations whereby everybody, I mean, you and your network are just there. You guys have a set goal. When you set your goal, and when the goal ends, you guys have met your goals, and you guys now know that, oh, this is we've done this, we've achieved this, so you guys can move on to other future projects. So it's more of collaboration in both, um, for the student and for the for you as a worker as well. So the next one is language. So language is a, is going to be a barrier if you don't understand what people are saying in the country that you decide to go to. For instance, if you go to Germany, you will have to learn German language. The first day you land in the airport in that country, from the airport, people are just greeting you in German, but you don't understand anything. But as time goes on, you will have to learn how to speak the language. You have to learn to understand, which is not, it is not, but then you have to understand those things. But for instance, when you're now, it's a different situation when you're in the UK, US, and all those other places that speak, all those other English speaking countries where as a land, somebody is greeting you. But mind you, as much as they speak to you in English, their intonation is different because you don't understand what they say at first. You have to really put your ears down to understand, okay, what this person telling me? He's speaking English with you, but you need to know how they act because of the accent. You need to understand it and know that, okay, this is what this person is saying to me. So with language, you really need to know that you have to know that you understand it, you will learn it, and you'll be able to communicate proper with every other person in the society. So the challenges of studying abroad, I'll have to rush this one. The challenges of studying abroad, as like I said before, financial restraint. If there is no money, you cannot do anything really, because first of all, you need to have to pay your school fees. You need to find, you need to eat when you get there. You need to have a roof over your head. You need to be able to pay for your rent, because it's not like Nigeria where you pay your rent yearly. But yeah, for country for abroad, you need to pay your rent monthly. It's a monthly thing. If you don't pay, you don't live in there. You get evicted. So with rent, there's rent, there's council tax. You pay tax on with the local government area that you live in. Different ways of whereby financial restraint can be a problem, can be a challenge when it comes to studying or working abroad. Then there's cultural shock and homesickness. Cultural shock. For me, when I first came to the UK, my first cultural shock was how people drink tea a lot. That even hot afternoon, people are drinking tea. Then the second one is smoking. Smoking is like, it's a regular. It's like drinking water. That was my own first cultural shock when I got here, because everywhere is turned to. There's nowhere you will not go in this UK that somebody, one person is not smoking. In a group of 10 people, 10 people are smoking. Only one person might be non-smoker. So that's a cultural shock. And yeah, too, when you're homesick, for homesick is, you're not, because you're alone. You're nobody. You're missing. For instance, you're missing Nigeria. You're the only person let's for instance, in UK. Only you are here. It's because everybody mind their business. So only you are here. Nobody to talk to, or everything. You've run out of ideas on how to do things. And your neighbors, you cannot just go to anybody's house and say how far am I going to their house. Everybody minding their business. Yeah. So you will be homesick most of the time. But you need to be able to make friends, meet new people for you to adjust to the way of life. And you also need to try to mind your business as well. Because nobody cares. And if you say you want to talk to people about your problems, the people you speak to about your problems are the people that will gossip, they'll backbite you and tell your problems to every other person in the office or in school. So you need to be careful of how you speak to people. No matter how homesick you are, no matter how extroverted you are, you just need to be careful. Those are part of the cultural shocks that you will expect. Homesickness can your surroundings. If you're not in a familiar surrounding, the place you don't know, you'll be homesick. So basically, I think I've covered that one. The next one is legal and bureaucratic order. So you need to know what is in place in the country. Legal is navigating the legal and bureaucratic aspect of studying and working abroad. This includes the correct visa, adhering to immigration laws. Those are the legal aspects. Understanding tax, because you'll be taxed for everything you do. Ensuring compliance with local regulations. This process can be it can be complex and time consuming, and most of the time it's confusing. So you need to know and meet people. And for me, most of the time, I try to speak to the police about some things. So it's more of me asking the police questions so that I don't get into trouble on how some type of things are done. But when it comes to the other immigration aspect, you need to speak to a lawyer or you read more about it for you to understand what it is that is going on. I hope I'm communicating people.
Yes, Mr. Wale, you are communicating excellently.
Yeah. So this legal aspect is very important because without you knowing what it is that you need to be doing in that country, you will be flop. And when you flop, when you see that is a wrong thing, first of all, it will go on your record, especially if you are looking to reside there for a long to be a permanent resident there. Or if let me give you an instance. If you drive a car here and you are looking for a visa or you're looking for citizenship, or if you drive a car and you run a red light, like we always run red lights in Nigeria, you run a red light and they capture you, it gets you. They will find you, put everything. But the day, let's say for after 5 years of you wanting to say, oh, my citizenship time has come, let me come and collect citizenship now. They will remind you of what you have done 5 years, how you ran a red light, and they can deny you citizenship. So that is how strict they are and they can be when it comes to actually not breaking the law, obey the law at all times. Some people break it and get away with it, but not everybody is lucky. So you need to know that this is real and if you get caught, then
Wow,
yes.
Mr. Wale, can we um kind of round up quickly? Time is
Yeah, yeah,
running out.
I'm almost done. I'm almost done.
There are some questions here for you.
Okay,
Please,
okay.
guys, while he's trying to round up, if you have any question, please just drop it so that once he's done, we take the one that time allows to. Thank you.
Okay. So academic and professional pressure is you need to be able to there's pressure on trying to succeed in this part of the world. Everybody's competing with each other. It is intense. Intense. When it comes to students, you have to work. You cannot pay lecturer here. You have to work your ass out for you to know For you to read, you have to read, you have to pass. And if you don't pass, there's a certain amount of passing to pass. Or if you don't pass, they will deport you easy. So you need to be able to tax yourself and tax your mind. So professional need to for professional, the job market is very competitive. If you're not doing your job well, they either lay you off and you are jobless. So you have to always keep challenging yourself and keep motivating yourself as well. And lastly, in conclusion, so studying abroad offers it is I would advise anybody who wants to study abroad to go for it because there are so many opportunities for you, educational wise, um, and work wise. There's so many opportunities, but it has its own challenges, which is there's financial, there's cultural, there's legal challenges there. So you just need to know what it is and what is required of you to stay in the country. And actually, with all of this said, I believe that I am not confusing you, or um I have not what's it called now? I've not stopped you, try to stop you from trying to apply to schools or what trying to find work abroad basically. So at this point I'll just go back to thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Wale. Thank you so much. That was a beautiful presentation. You really took us through the journey. You tried to utilize the time within the frame of 1 hour. Thank you so much. Thank you. We really appreciate it. I'd like to ask you a question before the viewers dropped in their question. Um, your perspective. My question is on your perspective on something that many students wonder about. Do
Mhm.
you advise Do you advise to taking a loan to Japa for students? Is it worth the financial burden? Or should you, or I would like you to really, if no, can you recommend other ways to fund their education abroad?
So I will not as much as it's we want to travel and as much as it's very important for us to I will not advise you to take a loan to travel abroad because when it's time it's, when it's time to start paying that loan because and also there's also because of how it's there's certain requirements in when you have to work and you have to school. As a student, you're only required to work 20 hours a week, which is just like 2 days in a week, and or 1.5 day in a week. So, but basically, you cannot do so. It's 2 days a week. So, how do you want to pay back, let's say, 20 million naira loan with 2 days in a week job? So, that burden alone can distract you from 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 school. I will not advise anybody to take loan, but there are other ways. Scholarship. Always look for all the scholarship when you are looking for schools. Look at what the scholarship for the school, what the school has for scholarship. Some people say, okay, full funding, full scholarship, or else half scholarship. But yeah, you have to know, and also you need to know that ask yourself, can I pay this thing? The truth is, if you cannot pay it, don't do it at that point. There's also crowdfunding. People who do crowdfunding to go to school. But my question is, for how long do you want to do crowdfunding for to just go to school? But I will not advise anybody to literally take a loan to go to school because it's going to be a restraint on you, your family members, and people you love. And if you cannot pay back that money, if you cannot pay back that money, everybody is going to come for you. And people tend to to sell their lands, their houses. It's good, but it's not the best. But you know what you want, and you know you can deal with the consequences. You can deal with the whole idea of being abroad. Yes, I advise you. Be my guest. Enjoy yourself. Sell your land. Enjoy yourself. Achieve everything you want to achieve, and it works for you. Bless God. Or you just need to be. You just need to make your research, do your research, and think whether or not this benefits me. So go abroad is
Thank
nice. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really like the way you touch that aspect because sometimes, yeah, it's good to take calculative risk, but sometimes we don't calculate those risks the way it should be calculated.
Mhm.
I'm happy you draw that point. My next question is quickly. Many people is based on my observation as a person
Yep.
focus on the UK, the US, and Canada for
Hmm.
relocation.
Yeah.
Given that the US passport is one of the strongest globally, yes, agree.
Yep.
Why do people limit themselves to these three countries? Are there other, perhaps more affordable countries that students and professionals could consider?
Yeah. There are several places for you to go and study. Several places. There's Portugal. There's Malta. There is Ireland. There is Finland. There's Netherlands. There's Germany. You name it. European countries that you can still go to. It doesn't have to be UK, Canada, US. These places are good. They are recognized. But those other places I mentioned, those other European countries I mentioned, they are you still get value of or you still get value of the standard of what they have in UK, US, Canada. You still get standard. Some people leave UK, leave America, leave Canada to come to down to all the other places, Finland and all that, to study because they can't afford their own school fees back home. So it's a it's sometimes it's confusing when everybody wants to come to the UK. Well, and now the new immigration laws, they're making it more difficult. But yeah, I would tell you, explore the options. Go to European countries. Go to even Brazil. You will go and you will get scholarship. You will get schools. There are different things you can do. Or it's not just one place. Don't limit yourself. Don't say I must go to if I don't go to UK. You can after school you can always study well. You can always study well. That's one thing I understand. I understand. I can go to different countries as I want. Even in the UK, I know different places I've been to, but yeah, and I've seen how they're doing their things. Easy. Some people give you scholarship and give you part payment scholarship. But yeah, it's easy. Easy. Easy.
Thank you for that. Hello, Mr. Wale.
Yes, I can hear you.
Sorry to cut you short. Yeah, I'm looking at the timing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, but I'm sure we all get what you explained to us. I'm happy that coming from someone like you who is already staying overseas, encouraging people to explore other countries, which is really good, since traveling is part of learning as well. So I'm still to the audience rather. If you have questions like I asked, we just have few minutes to round up this discussion. And if you don't, before we wrap up, remember that the Brand Colossal Student Parliament. Okay, someone raise his hand. Okay. His hand. Obi, please
Right.
ask the question. Thank you. Briefly, please.
Hello,
Ask your question.
hello, good evening,
Yeah, good
everyone,
evening.
and good evening, Mr. Wale. Thank you very
Yes.
much for what you said. Thank you for enlightening us. Please, I want to know what is the difference between foreign certificate and our country certificate?
For a certificate, actually, there's no big difference. The only problem is, the only thing is name. Or I've been to the UK. People will take, or I've been to the UK. Let's say University of Oxford, than somebody who is going to who has gone to University of Lagos. Or let's bring it down home. Has been to PTI. So you can imagine people rather take them than take PTI. So it's only on it's only people who wants to see your skill than your result than your paper. I don't even understand.
Okay,
All right. Desmond,
if
does that answer your question, please?
you see this, you sorry. So you made mention of
Okay, please
people
ask
leaving
briefly. It's
their own
already time on
countries.
the dot so that we can. Julie is also.
You made mention of people leaving their own country. You said leaving people in somewhere like Canada, leaving Canada to Brazil to go and further their education. You understand? And you also say, and I'm sure you also see people in US also leave US to go to other countries to further their education because of this thing, the price. Because it's much more cheaper to learn there is much more cheaper. And so
Yeah,
I'm like, if it's much more cheaper at those places, you understand, maybe due to the exchange rates, you understand, it's much more cheaper. Then why can't they come down here, Nigeria, whereby they know it's extremely cheaper? Why can't they
have
do
you
that? What is
ask
stopping them?
ask yourself? One question is ask yourself: will you leave America to come to Nigeria to school? That's the first question you should ask yourself. As much as I'm not trying to shame Nigeria, Nigeria is a good place, it's a great place. But you will not tell me you will leave something as much as it is expensive. You will not tell me you will leave my quality of life back in America or UK to come down to Nigeria to come and study and have a less quality of life. Everybody is mostly about quality of life. I will rather take I'll rather take my risk back in the UK here and come home to come and study because Nigeria will have a lot of strike. If strike hits them 2 times, they will not come back. So you need to know that what is attainable there is not attainable in Nigeria. We are doing strike. How many strike can they handle? That is one thing you should understand. They will first of all think about it. They will think
True,
about
true, true.
what is good for them first before they take the next step. That's what I can tell you.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you very
Wale,
much.
for that. Mr. Desmond, does that answer your question?
Yes, yes, yes,
All right.
yes,
Thank you so
absolutely.
much.
Thank you very much.
All right. Juliet, I saw you raising your hand. Please quickly ask your question so that we can round it up. We can call it a day, please. Hello, Juliet.
Okay, good evening, sir.
What do you
Good
mean?
evening, ma. Good evening, Alice. About the traveling, schooling stuff and all. I don't know. Is there any country like apart from I know that UK is expensive and all that. Is there any country that is very cheap that someone can really do their masters apart from UK, USA, but
Yes,
also nice?
Yes, like I said, there's Finland, there is there is Netherlands, there's Spain, there's Malta, there's Germany. Germany is
Khadija raised her hand. Please, Khadija, ask your question so that Mr. Wale can. The last question, Mr. Khadija, please ask your question. Mr. Wale, please attend to Khadija. Then we round it up. I can see you are.
sorry.
We've already entered into your own personal time. I hope that wouldn't cost much. I'm
That's all
sorry
right. It's
about
fine.
that. It's
That's
all
fine.
right. Khadija, is she here? Hello,
I
Khadija.
was talking to somebody about after school traveling and all that, and the person was like, it's not easy when you travel. It's like 50-50. You can most times that it's not easy. You travel, then you get to struggle over there. You not have anything to show for it, and then you come back and start from square one. So, is there any possible means like something that or a country that when you travel to you find job easily and you can
Let me
just
tell you. Let me let me
you can
let me
also make it there.
let me
That's what
stop you.
I'm asking.
Let me stop you. First of all, your mind. Your mind. If you say you want to travel and you will not, everywhere you go through, you will always face challenges. If you cannot deal with the challenge, then you will always fall short. You will not, like I said, like let me use this word. You will not make it the way you want to make it. So first of all, you need to know that your mind mess with you first before any other thing. So don't let anybody tell you that if you go to this country, you will not be able to do this and that. That is, first of all, work on your mind. You know that, okay, tell yourself, I am going to this country. I will make it. I will do this. I will do that. I will do that. Then, yeah, you will make it. If you say you make it, you will make it. So what is you don't once you start putting negativity in your head, then forget it, you're already lost. Or you need to be able to know that you make it anyway, basically.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I understand. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. I guess this is our last question for today. You can put your hand down, Miss Juliet, please. Mr. Wally, please, quickly. I know time is gone.
Mm.
Can you, what's your last advice, or rather, do you have a final word for our viewers and our student parliament regarding this topic or
I'll
anything
say,
else?
I'll say, first of all, anybody that wants to travel abroad, make your research. Do your research to the point that you're talking about it in your sleep. Just like I tell you, do your research. Then if you can afford it, go for it. If you cannot afford it, look at other options that you think can work. Scholarship, cheaper countries. So, but it is more of research. Just just know that America, UK, Canada are not the only options. There are different options. Be open to explore different things. That's what I'll tell you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wale. Thank you. We really appreciate your insight, your beautiful insight. Honestly, it was really, really valuable and it was worth the time. I'm sure our viewers have enjoyed whatever it is that you brought to the table for us. Thank you. Thank you so much to our guests for being here.
Yeah,
It's
thank you.
already 9 minutes after 9, and I can see Mr. Wale standing. I don't know where he's going to. But anyways, thank you so much. Thank you. And if you missed any part of the discussion or wish to revisit it, it will be available on our YouTube channel. Stay connected with the Brand Colossus for more enriching session. Remember, we are here just a phone call away. If you want to contribute, suggest anything until next time, keep exploring and keep learning. Thank you so much and have a good night rest. See you next week. same time, same place. Good night. I still remain Unaisa Abdullahi.